Smith&Wesson's M&P15 is chambered for the 5.56 NATO cartridge. What that gives you is the ability to shoot both the 5.56 and 223 ammunition out of this same rifle. Now, it doesn't go the other way. If it were a 223 chambered rifle, it is not advisable to shoot the 5.56 ammunition in that chamber. As far as the cartridges themselves, the outside diameter is exactly the same. The difference is the way the chambers are cut and the pressure that the cartridges are loaded to. The 5.56 NATO cartridge is loaded to a higher pressure than standard 223 ammunition. In the 5.56 millimeter chamber, which is cut to allow those pressures to work safely, you don't have a problem. If, however, you put that 5.56 ammunition into a tighter 223 chambered rifle, you could have problems, pressure-related problems or overpressure problems, due to that mismatch between the chamber and ammunition. So remember, if you have a 5.56 chamber, you can use both 223 and 5.56 ammunition. If you have a 223 chamber, use only 223 ammunition. Again, the Smith&Wesson M&P15 does have the 5.56 millimeter NATO chambering. One of the things that I like about the Smith&Wesson rifles is they maintain the military practice of chrome lining the chamber and bore of the barrel. They also chrome line the inside of the bolt carrier, and I believe the carrier key is also chrome lined. For rifles like this that live in vehicles and they're out in all kinds of different temperature extremes, humidity conditions, I really like the chrome lining because I don't have to worry about rust forming on the inside of the barrel. Now, this is something that Smith&Wesson is starting to get away from. They are starting to Melonite or use a Melonite coating on the inside of the barrels and some of the other parts. They claim that the Melonite is just as good as the chrome lining as far as keeping the bores from rusting and those types of things. I don't know. I know the chrome lining works, and if anybody from Smith&Wesson is out there listening, most of us that like chrome lining will pay a little bit more to keep the chrome lining, and maybe not the Melonite. Not so crazy about that. Again, keeping in mind the conditions these rifles live in, that chrome lining is some nice peace of mind, because we know from the early rifles in Vietnam, one of the big problems they had that caused all the failures was the inside of the chamber started to corrode, and when the cartridges were fired, they would grip the inside of that corroded chamber, and it was almost like sandpaper. It wouldn't allow that cartridge to extract, so the bolt would continue to move, come back forward and try to load another round into a chamber that had either a fired cartridge completely inserted into the chamber or at least partially inserted into the chamber, and it caused a lot of problems. The chrome lining cured that, and I would encourage Smith&Wesson and the other manufacturers to continue the practice of chrome lining those, especially for rifles marketed to law enforcement and the military. When Smith&Wesson first started to manufacture these rifles, they actually, or I should say first marketed them, they were being manufactured for Smith&Wesson by Stag Arms. And a lot of people are under the misperception that that still is the case today. It is not. Very shortly after they started to market the rifles, they took the manufacturing in-house. I believe the major components nowadays are all made by Smith&Wesson. Now, I am sure they do not make every single pin, spring, detent, or whatever in these rifles, but I believe they make all of the major portions, the receivers, the barrels, the bolts. Actually, I take that back. They might purchase the bolts. I'm not sure about that. So, but the major portions of this rifle, they do manufacture in-house. They do buy some of the other parts from different vendors and assemble those into their rifles, which is essentially the same exact thing that virtually every other manufacturer does. I don't know if there is any manufacturer of AR-15s or M4 style rifles today that starts out with just bare metal stock and then builds every single piece in the rifle. Most of them farm out at least some of the parts to other vendors and then assemble those into the rifles that they build. I hope you found this video informative. If so, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate knowing what people think of these videos. If you have any comments or questions, be sure to leave those below. If you enjoy videos like this, please subscribe. I've got a lot of them on my channel right now, ranging from all different kinds of firearms, hopefully that you find entertaining and instructive. And as always, until next time, good shooting. Bye-bye.